now that we've learned about the production possibilities frontier, we're going to do a little more with this picture, and we're going to learn some things about how to read this visual image to get a little more information. So in economics, one of the concepts that we often use is the concept of opportunity cost. This is the way in which economists think about costs. And this idea is the idea that, look, because resources are scarce, and we know we have scarce resources because our PPF tells us we can't have more of everything, because our resources are limited, we can only have either so much wheat or so much rice or so much guns or so much butter. So scarce resources means that you have to make choices. And when you make a choice, it means that you have to do A and you have to give up B. Every choice means not doing something else that you could have done with these resources. So the opportunity cost from an economist's perspective is, what else could I have done with this? What other opportunities did I have? And what did I have to give up to get this? And was it worth it? So the production possibilities frontier is a very good way for us to think about opportunity cost, because in a picture it tells me how much wheat did I get, how much rice did I get, how much guns did I get, butters did I get, cars did I get, dairy did I get, and I have a sense of what other uses the resources could have been used for, and what I had to give up to get it. So I'm going to use some very simple numbers, because sometimes it's just a lot easier to see things if you're using small numbers. So we're just going to use, of course, in a real economy, nobody's producing 10 pounds of rice or something like that, but it's easier if I work with round numbers, but the idea is the same. And I'm going to show you two very important concepts that we will keep returning to, especially when you come to trade theory in a future class, or when we come to the concept of firms and firms' production decisions later on in this quarter. So in this economy, let us start with a simple economy where you've got options of wheat or rice. And wheat and rice are pretty similar. So it's not that hard for me to move out of rice production into wheat production or vice versa. They use very similar kinds of land, resources, things like that. There are, of course, substantial differences depending on technology, depending on whether you're using intensive irrigation, things like that. There's lots of differences, but let's keep this simple. And in this economy, I'm going to call it PPF1. If you took all of your resources and you put them into wheat production, you could get 90 pounds of wheat, no rice. And then you say, you know what? I'm not sure that I want 90 pounds of wheat. What I'd like is, I actually would like 10 pounds of rice. So I want 10 pounds of rice, but if I want 10 pounds of rice, that means, now take a look here, I have to give up. Can you see how that arrow is going down? I have to give up some wheat in order to get some rice. So I gave up, from 90 to 70, I gave up 20 pounds of wheat to get 10 pounds of rice. Right? So 20 pounds wheat were given up in order to get £10 of rice. So in economic vocabulary, the opportunity cost of 10 pounds of rice was 20 pounds of wheat. It's what I gave up in order to get that 10 pounds. And so you can see that if I said, oh, I guess I'd like 45 pounds of rice, I would have had to give up all of the 90 pounds of wheat, and the opportunity cost of 45 pounds of rice would be 90 pounds of wheat, right? That's what I gave up to get it. So this idea of opportunity cost is something that we can use by reading what you gave up of wheat to get a certain amount of rice. You can do reverse. You can say, well, if I wanted 70 pounds of wheat, then I would have had to give up 35 pounds of rice, because instead of 45 pounds of rice, I can only produce 10 pounds. And so whichever direction you go, basically you're saying, okay, what did I give up? What did I get? All right? So that's the first part of this. Opportunity cost, what did I give up in order to get something?